before death came, the liars were made to feast upon the hands of the thieves, and the thieves were made to ingest the tongues of their liar brothers, and we praised the Master Builder for his judgments. The Hammer Book of Tenets.
I went to Cuddy's place to deliver the scepter, but Cuddy wasn't there. He'd been arrested by the Hammerites. Apparently they didn't approve of his occupation, and I doubt they approve of mine. So hopefully they'll never catch sight of me when I break him out of their prison. Which is what I'm going to do. They're holding Cuddy in a mining complex carved out of a quarry. The quarry's flooded, but the Hammers still work the top-level mines and have converted part of the complex into a penitentiary for those who violate their tenets. An associate of mine was confined there and has provided me with a map. It would be difficult to get in by way of the main gate, but there is another option. The mines break the surface of a hill south of the quarry. I'll drop into the mines and head for the prison, which will be found somewhere uphill and to the north. The Hammers don't venture into these lower mine levels because they're reputed to be haunted. I'd rather not have to do this job, but Cuddy's a reliable fence, and I don't appreciate the Hammerites abducting him. And he owes me money for the Bafford job.
Welcome back, good viewer. This is the Skyrider, and here we are in the hillside outside of Cragscleft, the prison of the Hammerites. Quite how we got here, I'm not sure. I assume by climbing over these beams. But oh well. I was wrong before, good viewer. This is a level that does actually take place during daylight, which is peculiar. But before we start swimming, heading into the tunnel, let's have a look at our objectives. Break from Cragscleft Prison. Your map doesn't show the way through the mines, so you're going to have to scout around to make your way to where they hold the prisoners. Cutty still owes you for the Bafford job. Break him out, and you'll get your cash. You've had your eye on Basso the Boxman's sister for a while now. If you break him out of Cragscleft, she'll probably be very grateful. Issit the beggar borrowed your lucky hand of glory, and, knowing him, probably hid it from the Hammer's body search in ways you'd rather not think about. Get it back. There's bound to be some pricey religious icons in any Hammer complex. Try to come out with at least 1,000 worth of their stuff. Escape from the prison with Cutty and Basso the Boxman. A true professional doesn't leave a mess. Don't kill anyone. And there we have it. Okay. Let's go for a bit of a swim. That's just a big rock. You can pick up rocks, and you can throw rocks, and cause them to land in the water and make a splashing noise, which is always fun. So, if you look here, good viewer, some little gem has made its way down here, because after all, this is an old mine, as we were told before. And as we know, this is the bottom of the bottom level, so to speak, of 4 levels of this hillside. So here we have the mines, the haunted mines, which then progresses up into the Hammerite factory, and then the prison, and then finally the barracks. So, zombie, good viewer. Zombies will just, if they're on the floor like that, then they'll stay on the floor until you provoke them, and by going near them. And when that happens, they'll start going, "Ugh, brains," or they'll start moaning in a lot more creepy way than that. And then they'll do that once, and if you do that more than once, then they'll start getting up and start walking you around. You can cause them to go back down onto the floor again by whacking them with a sword. 2 overhead swings will do it, but that won't kill them. It'll just incapacitate them. Gugh. You see that down there, good viewer? I don't know if you can, but that's a rather nasty spider. Very large spider. Ugh, creepy little bastard. Yeah, missed. Thankfully, it can't get up here, so I'm going to remain up here and kill the bastard, because I don't like it. 2 arrows should do it. Killed it. Right. Eesh. Thankfully, that's the only spider here. Again, I don't know what it is. It's just something about the spiders in this game in particular that creep me out. Hammerite efficiency. 2 broken buttons, so we can't use this as a method to get to the higher levels. That's the level we're on. We can only go down a level. Ugh. Had to kill it right by the lift, didn't I? Fortunately, Ariadne is dead. There's not an awful lot down here on this bottom level, but there is a moss arrow, which is rather useful. Moss arrows, the second type of elemental arrows we have. And we'll head up again. Just as water arrows are useful to put out torches and to make darkness, moss arrows are good for sound, good viewer. If you fire a moss arrow onto a surface, it will create a patch of moss, which will be silent when you tread on it. So there we have a zombie. So I'm just going to run past him, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to... Yeah, see, I provoked him. Just going to have a little bit of a look-see around here before I progress upwards. And, yes. Now I remember. We go down here. It appears someone's not using the mine to its fullest extent. Gemstones, worth 150 gold. And of course that leads us back to the initial zombie. This place can be a bit of a maze if you're not careful, so just remember where everything is. Yes, we're going to progress on upwards. And to do that, I think we'll just ignore the zombie. Yes, yes, brains, brains. Come on. Back, bastard. Okay, fine. That's 1. That's 2. Down he goes. Right. Of course, he's not dead. If you want to kill zombies, you have to use holy water, which we will encounter shortly. Okay, so we make our way up this tunnel to that tricky bit of platforming. We can thankfully sneak past these zombies. That's just a corpse of an unfortunate Hammerite. But we don't like hammers, so never mind about that. Okay. There we go. This is one thing I dislike about, well, this particular level, but also other levels as well, is, in the Thief series, some of them at least, is there can be bits where you can get very tricky bits of platforming, which can be rather awkward. For example, until very recently, actually, I thought that the way to get progress upwards here was to grab a crate. If you see that rock over there, then there's a crate behind there which you can grab. One of those small crates that you can pick up. Is there one down there that I can show? Yeah, like that one underneath the little lightning rods there. Not quite sure what that's for, but you can pick up... I thought you had to pick up one of those crates, put it here, jump onto the crate, and then mantle up there. But until very recently, I didn't know that you could do this. Again, it's another tricky bit of platforming, because this is the problem. One false move, you have to mantle up, and you plummet to your death. So you mantle up there, and then you mantle up there, rather than mantling up from that hole down there. So that shows that I'm just a muppet. And here we have live zombies. The living undead. The living undead, dead. Okay, so we're going to run past Bob here, and Jimmy. Behold, a disused Hammerite church thingy. Ooh, shiny candlestick and shiny little hammer here for us. So, we've got Bob coming for us. So, what's the solution to this? You take 1 water arrow, or rather 2 water arrows, and here we have a holy water fountain. It turns our water arrows into holy water arrows for 30 seconds. Boom. two holy water arrows to a standing zombie, one to a lying down zombie will kill them. Ow! Yeah, I think that was the flies that came at me there, which was rather annoying. And there we go. Those zombies will not reanimate themselves. And here we have portable holy water for use in an emergency. Thankfully, however, the zombies only really populate the lower levels of the mine, so we should be alright. A pick. We dig in our mine the whole way through. Don't actually know the lyrics to that song. Not all of them, anyway. That's fortunately just a dead hammer, I think. It could be a rather nasty variant of the creature known as, I believe, as a hammerhaunt, which we will encounter later on. But just for good measure, I'll run past him. Just a table over there. Now, there are multiple ways of getting into the factory. Ah, yes, a skeleton. Hello, skeleton. Okay, fine, I'll provoke him. Because... there we go. Skull in the face. If you progress too far up the tunnel, then that skeleton will fire its face at you, which is not good. Now, so we just provoked it there. Now, there are multiple ways to get into the factory here. This is one way. However, which is just simple enough. You basically just head up the ladder and head in that sort of direction. However, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go another way. Admittedly, it's a way that I'm not quite so used to, but having done some mapping of the place, I now realise it's actually a bit more efficient. So Bob here can't see me, so we'll just leave Bob to moan and talk about his troubles with Elliot over there. So we've encountered 4 named zombies so far: Bob, Elliot, and Jimmy. The Bobs are twins, and Elliot and Jimmy are a bit insecure about the fact that the 2 Bobs are twins. I smell a sitcom! Okay, so this is the other way to get into the complex. If we can climb out the blasted... Garrett can't swim. This is one thing that can be irritating about this series, is that, you know, you want to be able to do something, but due to the restrictions of the engine you can't do it, when in reality you'd be able to do it easily. That's something that it's a minor quibble, admittedly. You know, like the whole mantling thing with that crate, or certain bits of platforming that are just tricky that you could do normally otherwise. Even Muggins here could do it, and, you know, I'm one of the least athletic people out there.
All these halls would be close packed with novices, striving to learn our teachings.
There are novices still.
But fewer, brother, fewer. Youths in this time seek to learn about gold and politics, not honest craft.
To be their lost, when they come of age and know not how to accomplish aught of consequence.
Hammerites, good viewer. What to say about the Hammers? They're one of the big organisations in the game. They enjoy whistling. We'll take Bob out there. And his companion doesn't notice. And we'll hide the body. Yes, the Hammers are... religious zealots, I suppose is quite a good way to describe them. They're fairly extreme in their views and their followings of the teachings of the Master Builder. Their religion is based on building and construction and the good, honest toil of building. Really, as the Master Builder, their god, who they worship, is.
So many now build without consideration for the Master Builder. His mark is no longer upon the life of the city, and the taint of the trickster will always seek entrance.
Like you said, you know, they're sort of your typical religious fanatics, really.
Who goes there?
Nobody.
Who said that?
Wasn't me. Come on. You gonna say something? Because normally what happens is they'll be like, the guards tend to have 4 levels of awareness. First level being completely unaware of anything. Second level being, who goes there? Who said that? Just being, hearing something that you do, hearing a footstep, seeing you, a brief shadow. But then it normally they'll be like, who goes there? Who said that? 'Tis the builder's piece now, which indicates they've gone back to the first level. The third level is when they're walking around with their hammers raised and just looking about, going, I shall find thee, villain, come out, etc., etc. And then the fourth level is, rah, get him, kill the thief, rah! And once you reach the fourth level, then you're pretty screwed. But I'm going to assume that given it's been a long time since he said anything, he's currently on the first level, so we'll sneak past him, and then, because it's always better to have lack of bodies, we'll jump down here, take him out. Excellent. And, as I said, normally I don't come this way, good viewer, but for reasons that will become later apparent, I found that this way is actually much better. The dead zombie, and that leads back down into the mines. But we won't be going back down there, because they're full of zombies, and we don't like zombies. We like gold and nicking things. But yes, this is the Hammerites. I do like the hammers, it must be said. You know, they are religious fanatics, and although I'm a religious believer myself, I'm not one for religious fanaticism. So, but, you know, nonetheless one does appreciate the good characters that the Hammerites are. But I think we're going to leave things here, good viewer. This seems to be a good stopping point, now that we've reached the Hammerites' factory. Still got several levels to go, however. So next time on Thief Gold, we will progress further into Cragscleft prison in an attempt to free our companions. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Skyrider. Farewell until we meet again.